Hello there, I'm Matteo, the Chief Mobile Opinionist here at Tech Travel Geeks. And this is the Tech Travel Geeks unboxing of the POCO M3, Xiaomi's latest affordable smartphone under the POCO brand, which apparently is now independent, whatever that means in their business context. If you don't already, please do subscribe to the Tech Travel Geeks here on YouTube. Right then, so my POCO M3 arrived. This was ordered on AliExpress on Black Friday. It was on a particularly good offer and it shipped pretty quickly and has now been delivered. So I'm taking off the plastic cover that's here and we'll get to look at the yellow packaging a little bit more. So it says POCO and M3 and 6000 mAh. That is a significantly big and chunky battery. And on the side, as we've seen with quite a few Xiaomi devices recently, it tells us that it has easy access to the Google apps you use the most. So this is an obvious dig at Huawei and Honor, who recently haven't had access to that. Anyway, I'm going to slide the box out. The version I purchased is the most affordable. It's 4 GB of RAM and 64 GB of storage. I'll just pop this in the other box. And as you can see, this is very yellow packaging. There's a yellow POCO in the sleeve on the inside. So what's in the sleeve? Let's have a look. So the yellow POCO sleeve contains a SIM ejector tool. This is great. We will use this SIM ejector tool in the follow-up video where we'll set up the device. We have a lot of literature, the user guide and warranty card, which we'll be sure to read or not. And more importantly, there is a POCO case, just as we saw on the POCO X3 NFC. So this is a simple TPU or gel case with cutouts for all the main features, and we'll be using that again for the setup when we record that video. So let's have a look at the smartphone itself. So the packaging is quite verbose in telling you what the key features are. So as you can see, the 48 megapixel AI triple camera. So the main sensor is a 48 megapixel one. It's accompanied by a 2 megapixel macro lens and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. So not really the best cameras out there, but you wouldn't expect that. This device cost me just over £100 sterling here in the UK, which equates to around about 120 US dollars. That included free delivery from AliExpress. Now, one of the standout features of this POCO M3 is a 6000 mAh battery. Just think of that for a moment, 6000. The Google Pixel 4a, for example, just has a 3000 mAh battery. So physically high capacity battery with 18 watt fast charging. So this is a bit of a power bank phone, and you can reverse charge other phones or devices with it. And quite unique for this price category, it has a Full HD Plus screen. If we look at even just the devices we recently saw here on Tech Travel Geeks, such as the Nokia 3.4 and the OnePlus One, sorry, not the OnePlus One, the OnePlus Nord N100, they all had lower end processors, smaller batteries, and more importantly, lower resolution screens. But the POCO M3 seems to deliver with a specification of that 6.53 inch Full HD Plus display. And that Full HD Plus display has a water drop notch we'll see in a moment. And more importantly, the POCO M3 is powered by Qualcomm's Snapdragon 662 chipset. Now this is a 6 series Qualcomm chipset, which means that it's quite a capable one. But one thing to bear in mind is that this is an 11 nanometer chipset, so not the newest type of chipset, but still it's 6 series, so which means that it's a lot better than a lot of the competition in its price range. In a way, it's unique in that way. So I'm going to take the sticker off. Okay then, so I've taken the sticker off, and now we can have a look at the back. So you can see that the camera module at the back is then surrounded by an extra bit of transparent glossy plastic with giant POCO letters in it. This is not bright, this is not backlit, but it almost gives you the feeling of that because of the contrast with black back there. And the back of the phone itself is plastic. It's textured like some leather, so it's a bit like a fake pleather back, which is actually just hardish plastic. And so nice finish, it's not slippy. I quite like that. It's not Mocadile, but yet again, POCO have gone with a nice finish here on the plastic casing. In a way, it reminds me of the Samsung Galaxy S5, all the way back in 2014. That had a pleather-like plastic back. So did the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. There was fake stitching there, no fake stitching on the POCO M3. Now, key feature on the device is an on-off button, which is also a fingerprint scanner, and I'm glad to see that because I've got quite used to that in 2020. Between the POCO M3, the POCO X3 NFC, the Xiaomi Mi 10T Pro 5G, and the Xiaomi Redmi Note 9S, they all have this fingerprint scanner on the side, which is ergonomically quite accessible, especially if you're right-handed. At the top, you can see that there is actually two perforations here. Those are for microphones, but there is also an infrared blaster as well as a courage port, a 3.5mm audio jack. And at the bottom we have USB Type-C for charging, another microphone hole, and the speaker grill. So it is a very nice device for that price point. It's unapologetically pleather, we can say that now. And I look forward to putting it through its paces. What I'll do now is turn the device on so that you get to see what that Full HD Plus display is like. Now obviously on a black screen there's not much to see here apart from the reflection of my chin. We can see that it is powered by Android, and MIUI comes up. That's Xiaomi's own Android distribution that the Redmi and POCO brands use as well. So as far as I'm aware, MIUI loaded on the POCO M3 in this case is MIUI 12. In fact, here comes up the notification that that's it. Now you can see the Full HD Plus display, that's 1080 by 2340, that means that it's a 19.5:9 aspect ratio, is pretty well and evenly lit, and there's a water drop or teardrop notch at the top of that display. So I'm going to stop here, stop with the setup here, just power the device off, and before we go, I'm going to go and have a look at that SIM tray, wherever it is. It's on the left-hand side of the screen. We have a SIM tray, so we'll just have a look at what type of SIM tray we have, what it takes in terms of cards. And so we have a non-hybrid SIM tray. That means that we have space for two separate nano SIM cards, so you can have two separate SIM cards, as well as a micro SD card. No having to make that difficult choice between two SIM cards or a SIM card and a micro SD card. So that's really, really handy to have there. I would say it's quite slim, and I'll be looking forward to put that through its paces when we get to setting up the POCO M3. Overall experience so far is very, very positive. It seems to be quite a well-built device. It's got a good feel to it. And I have to say, I'm a fan of this new design with the massive glossy bit at the back. So this is a 4G smartphone, it's not a 5G one. That means that you'll be able to use this in most countries But be aware that it may not work in particular regions where there's slightly different networks. So make sure that if you are buying one on AliExpress, you're getting one that works where you are. Anyway, I'd better wrap up this video, but thanks for watching this unboxing of the POCO M3 as we purchased one from AliExpress. We will be back tomorrow with a full setup video of the POCO M3. So be sure to be subscribed, have that bell button enabled, and you'll be notified when we publish that video. But for now, thank you for watching our unboxing of the POCO M3. Goodbye.